that in some ways the commandment 10 is a little premature, and I get this because the focus of commandment 10 is how do you get more from the ones that you've got. And clearly all of you are in the mode of finding more clients. You're less thinking about how do I get all of 100% of my clients' assets than just finding more clients to get into the pipeline. But at some point you're going to want to have those conversations, and really there's two ways to build this business, and you guys know this. Is the first way is to find new clients, and the second way is to get more from the ones that you got, either more assets or generate referrals from that group. And so since this is our final call, I thought it would be appropriate that we at least talk about that as you're starting to develop and bring on more and more clients. And the first suggestion is this, is whether it's with your existing clients or even your natural prospects, just the people that you know in your life. One of the things I think we all have to work real hard at is making sure that they know all the different ways that you can help them, all the different ways that you can provide value in their lives. My sense, if I were a betting guy, and I am, if I were to take a bet and call most of you guys first clients and natural prospects and ask them, do you really have a sense of all the different things that John can do for you here as an advisor at Merrill? Most of them wouldn't know all the things, and because it hasn't been appropriate to share with them yet. I had a guy the other day. He's LOS 6 right now. He's doing fine. He's hitting all of his hurdles, doing a great job. And he was sharing with me. He says, I was so frustrated the other day. He says, my best friend happens to be my best client. First account I opened. He's my best friend. He was the best man at my wedding, and he's worth quite a bit of money. And I think I have most of his assets. And he said the other day we were out playing golf, and we were just kind of walking along the fairway, and just nonchalantly he looked over at me and said, Tim, he said, I just want to let you know I'm kind of excited. I'm in the process of refinancing our commercial building that we run the business out of, and it's kind of a pain in the neck, but boy, it's really going to save us a lot of money. Tim looked at him. He said, I kind of looked at him, and I said, well, why would you do that? Like that. And he said, my friend was kind of taken back. He said, well, because it's going to save me a lot of money. And Tim says, no, I get that. He says, why wouldn't you talk to me about that? And he said, my friend looked at me and he said, well, Tim, I had no idea you did that. I would have done it with you. Merrill Lynch, you do that at Merrill Lynch? And he says, of course we do. But here was his point. Here's my best friend, a guy that I see 3 or 4 times a week. And he's in the process of using somebody else for things that I can help him with. And his comment was, "Is a shame on me." He says, that I haven't communicated the different things that I can do for him. And so at some point, guys, and you know this, at some point you're going to want to sit down and have that conversation. Now, we even talked about this last week. We said, for most of you, the strategy is let's take care of the pressing need. And then at some point we're going to sit down and have a conversation about bigger picture. Maybe we'll do a wealth outlook at a later point, but right now let's just take care of a pressing need. And so it sounds like you guys are doing that. So let me give you a really good best practice, and I've stole this from other advisors, so this isn't my idea. I'd love to take credit for it, but I'll tell you what a lot of you guys are doing, and it's something you could start to do right now. It's called a first statement campaign. Now, let me tell you how it works. Is let's say we open an account. John, you said we just signed the paperwork today or yesterday. Okay, so let's say we open an account today. In most cases, depending on what you guys put them in, is they should be getting their first statement in about a month. Okay, so here's what I do. John and I open an account today. When he leaves, I go to my Outlook calendar and I give myself a reminder to call John Sullivan a month from now. Okay, and I do it. I call him in a month. And by the way I finish the meeting today is here's what I say. I say, John, by the way, over the course of the next month, you're going to be receiving a lot of information from us. We're going to kill a couple trees, but we're going to get a lot of information to you over the course of the next month. Here's my suggestion. Put it in a folder, keep it in one place, and you and I will get together in about a month, and we'll sort through what's important and what's not in there, okay? And then you do it. You call him in a month, and you set up a time to go out and see him. He comes into the office, you go out and see him, but you physically go out and see him. And you walk through that paperwork and you walk through the statements. Now, I know they've seen other statements. This isn't the first time they've seen a statement, but you're going to walk them through the statement and the paperwork. And here's the reason you're going to do it. is because what you told them when you opened the account was that you were going to service them at a higher level than they've been used to being serviced, right? You're going to exceed their expectation. Well, this is the proof of the pudding. Too often in our industry, what we do is we open an account and we forget about them until they call us or there's a problem. We're not going to do that. We're going to proactively, in 30 days, we're going to sit down with you again. And we're going to review your statements, okay? Maybe even set up a credit card with you or something along that line. But we're going to review the statements. Then here's what you do. When you get finished reviewing the statements, you say, John, do you have any questions? Everything looks like it's in order. Yeah, okay, great. Hey, last thing before I let you go. Over the course of the last couple months since you and I have been talking about this investment, John, I don't know that I've done a very good job. I take the bullet, by the way. I don't know that I've done a very good job of communicating to you other things that we do over here at Merrill for clients like yourself. And there's a whole wealth of things that we do that bring value to clients like yourself. I wonder if at some point you'd be open to sitting down and chatting about some of the other things that we do, both for maybe your business and even on some of your family situations. Is that something you'd be open to? And guys, I've yet to have anyone say that if they approached it with that process, that the prospect says, well, no, let's just take care of what we got here. Usually they will always say, well, sure. And now you've opened the opportunity to sit down and talk about whatever, the wealth outlook or my financial picture or just other ways that you can be of value to them. And it's appropriate then because you've got them as a client and started to wow and impress them with the level of service that you've done. So it's called a first statement campaign. A lot of you guys are doing it, and I think it's a real good way to establish the relationship. So let me get a couple reactions. John, your thoughts on that? I mean, you guys probably have an onboarding process already, but thoughts or reaction on that?